When my plane was landing yesterday, he was right next to my plane too. And he was like, they were like, VIP, nobody can get off the plane. I'm like, well, we VIP too. And they said Obama. I was like, oh, okay.
Girl, you'll never believe what happened to me. Our plane landed and they were calling for VIPs. I thought they were talking about me, the vaguely iconic pretender. But girl, they weren't talking about me when they said VIP. They were talking about Obama. I was so mad I started clapping back at them haters. This league. This is year 6 of me doing YouTube full time. In all of my time doing this, the thousands of videos, thousands of stories, I have never seen a league more delusional than the WNBA. And they are led by the queen of delusion, the delusional Barbie, the young woman who looks in the mirror every morning and sees a huge star. Imagine being so delusional, you think publicly bragging about being a VIP is a good thing. Hell, in this case, Angel Reese was a fake VIP. Imagine being so delusional, you actually think you're important. Now, in her defense, this false perception that's been created with Angel Reese, it is not all her fault. It's her fault for biting into the shit sandwich. It's her fault for being intoxicated by delusion. But the mainstream media is responsible for creating this illusion that Angel Reese is the face of the league. Angel Reese is a huge star. Just because you have mainstream name recognition, that does not mean you are highly respected. It does not mean that people are willing to pay to see you play. It does not mean people are willing to watch you attempt to play basketball. There is a difference between a star and a draw. A star might have name recognition, they might be famous, but a draw has the power to move the needle. There are a lot of stars, very few draws. Throughout his wrestling career in the WWE, Triple H, he was a star, he was famous, had name recognition, but Triple H was never a draw. He was the guy that worked alongside those who actually drew the money. He was famous by association, which is exactly what's happened with Angel Reese. The only reason Angel Reese is a star is because of her association with Caitlin Clark. She can lie to herself. She can believe the media propaganda that she is the face of pretend basketball. But Uncle Casey has proof that she's not. Before we get to that, let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Fluffernoggin. I am not a big snacker. I don't eat a lot of junk food, but there are times during the week when I'm too busy to stop and grab lunch, and I need something quick and easy, but also filling enough to get me to dinner. One thing I have found that fills me up, beef jerky. Problem is, a lot of beef jerky tastes like you're biting into a flat tire. Good news is, I no longer had that problem because I started buying gourmet beef jerky from Fluffernoggin. Now, you're probably thinking, what the hell is a Fluffernoggin? Fluffernoggin is gourmet beef jerky that is 100% made in America. You don't have to worry about consuming foreign cows because all these cows are homegrown. Each recipe from Fluffernoggin is handcrafted with the perfect amount of seasoning. First beef jerky I've ever tasted that literally melts in your mouth. Fluffernoggin comes in a variety of flavors, ranging from mango habanero, Korean barbecue. They even have a flavoring of craft beer. Or, if you're like me, you'll just stick with the original style flavoring. So click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL30, BTL30. Receive 30% off your first purchase with Fluffernoggin. Yesterday, one of my viewers sent me a report that analyzed engagement on social media. This report combined data for every team in the WNBA and ranked them by who received the most engagement, the most interest. Now, if we were to believe the media, Angel Reese would rank number 1, right? AJ Wilson, the most anonymous face on the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces. AJ Wilson, but my name is Asia.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
AJ Wilson and the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces, they would be a very distant second to Angel Reese, right? Maybe they would be tied with Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wankers. If we were to believe the media, the Indiana Clarks, they might not make the top 5. There are so many popular teams. There are so many stars in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark has been forgotten. Take a look at this. This data was compiled through the first 2 months of pretend basketball season. As you can see, the Indiana Clarks have generated over 1 billion impressions, over 42 million engagements with an estimated financial value of $69 million. Now, I'll be honest with you. I think this estimated value is a bit overinflated. I've been doing this for a long time. I know what Facebook pays, TikTok, YouTube. Impressions are not views. Impressions are how many times their content has been shown. But either way, it is abundantly clear that the Indiana Clarks are the most valuable team in the league. Keyword, value. AJ Wilson can be named the most valuable player. Angel Reese can pretend that she's the most valuable VIP. But in terms of financial value, which as a business, it's the only value that matters, Caitlin Clark, easily the most valuable player in the league. But take a look at who's in second. I struggle to call this second place because the distance between Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers, it is the equivalent of the distance between the Earth and the Moon. Paige Beckers ranks second with over $6 million, which means Caitlin Clark is 10 times more valuable than the second most popular WNBA player. AJ Wilson, the most valuable pretender. In terms of financial value, she ranks 4th. But what's interesting about this list is who's not on it. Does anyone see Angel Reese? My poor Angel. She seems to be missing. Have you seen Angel Reese, last seen in Atlanta, leaving the court with a manufactured injury? If anyone knows the whereabouts of this delusional Angel, please contact us via smoke signals by clapping back at them haters. My guess is you could combine the financial estimates on this list for every team in the WNBA dump, and Caitlin Clark is still more valuable. You see, one of the main problems in this league, they have an image problem. They have an optics problem. Throughout the season, WNBA players have refused to come out for the national anthem. In the interest of equity, the WNBA continues to put unknown faces on promotional posters for pretend basketball games. There are a lot of players in this league not marketable to a mainstream audience. Case in point, the Bud Studs. Someone please explain to me how you market this duo to the masses. Someone please explain to me how you market the Bud Studs to teenage girls in North Carolina. One half of this duo, Courtney Williams, she recently released the following message on social media where she is responding to a degenerate gambler. Listen for yourself.
You broke ass bitch, you. If you don't get on my ball DMs, you broke bitch. I ain't even click on your page and you look dirty as fuck. Ugly ass boy. Now you getting blocked, you little broke bitch. I hope I lose you some more money.
Credit where credit is due. I thought this was great. I thought it was brilliant. As a piece of comedy, as something that is meant to entertain doom scrollers on TikTok, this was brilliant. But two things can be true at the same time. If you're a marketing executive at Maybelline, if you're a brand that markets your product to children, kids, How can you use Courtney Williams as the face of your brand? The short answer is you can't. Image matters. How you present yourself matters. Early this morning, I was leaving to go get my coffee. As I'm pulling out of my driveway, I noticed this worn out truck in the middle of my cul-de-sac. I'm looking at him, telling him, move. Of course, he can't see me because my windows are tinted. So he gets out of his truck, walks over to my window. He's a middle-aged black man with a flat tire in a truck that was released 30, 40 years ago. Dents, bad paint job, and he is in the middle of an upper middle class, mostly white neighborhood. I don't think I have to explain how the mainstream media would perceive this scenario. He walks over to my window and says, "Good morning, sir. I've got a flat tire. Do you mind helping me move my truck so I can get it out of the street and change my tire? Can I move it in front of your yard?" "Sure." "No problem." I ask if he needs help changing the tire. He says no, but he does ask me, "Please let everyone inside know that I'm out here and what I'm doing." I tell him, "Don't worry about it. No one is going to give you a problem here." Next thing you know, my neighbors are outside. We get them a jack and some other parts. Tire gets changed. Problem resolved. Even though he was in an older truck, even though the initial optics could have been misconstrued, because of how he presented himself, kind, well-mannered, he got the help he needed and he was on his way. Now, take this same scenario. Put a white dude in the truck with tattoos all over his face. He walks up to my window and says, "Hey, cuz, got a bum wheel. Can you give me a ride? Can I borrow some money?" He reeks of booze at 6:30 in the morning. Maybe he's tweaking from the night before. The way I handle it, the way my neighbors handle it, completely different. The way you present yourself matters. Why do you think David Stern implemented a dress code in the NBA over 20 years ago? David Stern knew image matters. How you speak, how you conduct yourself, it matters. It's one of the reasons the WNBA has struggled for decades to resonate with a mainstream audience. The media, they try to make it about race, but it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with perception and how WNBA players present themselves to the public. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.